So now we're going to cover how to get your product and website online. So what did we cover last week? Well, we talked about why you need to know how to write sales copy. We broke down a successful sales letter. We talked about reaching your target market and defining who they were. I gave you some copywriting 101. We learned which words that were kind of bad words to replace in your sales letters. We learned about putting an S on the end of words to increase your conversion rate, your response rate. We talked about how you need to address 5 questions in your sales copy. We talked about some emotional hot buttons. We talked about how verbs are better than adjectives. We talked about sales copy transitions. We talked about the 21-step sales letter formula by Perry Belcher. We talked about the exact steps I took to create a #1 best-selling product on the Warrior Forum. We talked about how to steal proven sales copy and how to use it to sell your products, how to create headlines that force people to continue reading your page, how to get testimonials for a brand new product, and the proven bullet point formula to more sales. We also learned how to craft a call to action that gets people to whip out their credit card. We talked about some of the questions that my copywriter asks me when she's writing sales copy. I gave you a link to a sales copy template that sells for $7, which is a phenomenal tool. I use it myself. In fact, I used it to create my #1 selling WSO that we talked about. So it's a very worthwhile investment. And the homework was, find a best-selling product, print out the sales copy, write it exactly as is by hand with pen and paper, and then scan it and take a picture of it and send it to me. And then I also wanted you to come up with at least 10 headlines for your squeeze page, and preferably 100, but at least 10 of them, because you need to get in the habit of writing headlines. And you need to write your sales letter for your tripwire, and this is basically your low-end product. And you can use that sales copy template that I mentioned to come up with that and write that first sales letter. And this week we're going to cover how to get your product and website online. We're going to learn about how to get domain names, how to get hosting, how to create a website, how to upload your website, how to set up a payment button, and how to set up your download area, and a little bit more. So how do you get your product and website online? Well, you need an HTML editor. HTML is the language they use to make web pages. Or you need WordPress. You need an FTP client. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and this lets you basically put files on your website, your web server, your hosting, whatever you want to call it. You need FTP unless you're going to use WordPress, which has a built-in tool to upload files. You're going to need a domain name, so whatever your website is called .com. You're going to need web hosting, so I recommend HostGator is a pretty popular hosting service. You're going to need an autoresponder like Aweber or GetResponse. So how do you get a domain name? Well, you use a service called Namecheap.com, and then you search for your domain name that you want. You need to have an account, so click the sign up button first. But once you're registered, you can just type in the domain name that you're interested in. I would recommend getting a .com versus a .net or any of the other top level domains is what they're called. That's what this TLD is. Get a .com. Then you basically search for the domain. I search for how to find a profitable niche market. It gives you some other recommendations of similar domain names. Also gives you some domain names that are for sale, and domain names that have some words related to the words that you entered in. You click this shopping cart button for the one you want, and then you basically check out. You review your order. Make sure you spelled everything correctly. I oftentimes will write my domain name choice like in Microsoft Word, or search for it on Google just to double check that I spelled it correctly, because I have bought domain names before where I misspelled it. And then I click the checkout button, and it'll process your payment information as long as you've given Namecheap your credit card or PayPal details, and then it registers the domain name for you. Then the order is complete. You click this Get Started button under the Set Up Your DNS. DNS is Domain Name Service, and basically all the things that are on the internet, like your phone or your iPad or your computer or anything, even like your car, some of those can connect to the internet. they have what's called an IP address. It's an Internet Protocol address. It's kind of like an address for a house, or like a social security number, or like a phone number. Basically, it's a unique identifying number to figure out where something's located. And when you have a domain name, instead of someone typing in a whole bunch of numbers to get to where they want to go, people just type in Google or Yahoo or whatever your website's called .com, and it'll go to the right computer that has all the files for your website. So that's basically what DNS does. So you click on that to get started. It'll take you to your domain name dashboard. You select the domain you want to edit. So I'm editing the How to Find a Profitable Niche Market. I click the Transfer DNS to Web Host button, and basically this just gives some more details of where I register, or my registration information. I just click the Transfer DNS to Web Host link. In that, I just type in the DNS servers for my web host. You will have this information from your hosting company. So when you sign up for a hosting account, they will share this information for you. So for this example, my domain name servers are ns275.hostgator.com and ns276.hostgator.com. Now, if you have a HostGator account, your numbers are probably going to be different than mine, because I've had my account for many years. But it's going to be a similar process where you just copy and paste whatever the name server ID is for your specific hosting plan. You're going to need a web hosting account. For a lot of my sites, I just use HostGator because they're popular and affordable. They have had some issues this past year, and that's unfortunate. They just got bought out, so that's part of the growing pains of having a business that gets bought out. Once you have an account, you need to log into your cPanel, and basically you just enter your username and password. You get this information from HostGator. On your main cPanel screen, it's going to have a whole bunch of buttons that you can press to do all sorts of cool stuff. You're going to want to look for one that says Add-on Domains. It's going to be down fairly low on the page, and it's basically a little globe icon with www on it and a little plus sign. And it's this one right here. Then you configure the domain. You basically type in your domain name. You type in what your username you want to use. What username you want to use for that specific domain name. So oftentimes I will just do like an acronym for the site, or if it's a short domain name, I'll just type in the actual domain name. Then there's this password generator, which you can generate your own password, or you can just type in whatever password you want, and you click Add Domain. Then it might take a minute or so, and it will configure everything on your server and set up all the login information. Oh, I should note, when you're doing that and you're doing the password generator, you're going to want to write down that password that you use and the username for your account too. That's very important information, because you're going to want excuse me, you're going to want to be able to connect up to your web server and upload your files using an FTP account, or using an FTP client, excuse me, to bring those files up. So you need to write down your username, obviously your domain name, but you probably can remember that, and your password that you want to use, because that's how you're going to connect and put files from your computer onto your website. So how do you create your website? Well, you can use a variety of different things. Microsoft Word can create web pages. There's a free program called EnView. There's another free program called Composer. There's a paid program called Dreamweaver, and WordPress. Those are kind of the main ways people do it. Microsoft Word, I'm sure you've used this or something very similar. You can create a basic, especially like a sales letter type website just with Microsoft Word. So it's pretty cool what you can do. This is actually a sales letter written by one of my copywriters. So I'll be tweaking this. I'll be tweaking this, but you get a pretty good idea. You can have the red headline and some nice formatting with Microsoft Word, and it just does all that for you. So it's pretty slick. NView, it's just a software program you download. I don't use this software anymore. I used to use this one a lot when it first came out, but I've switched to Composer. I think both of them work on PC and Mac, but Composer just seemed a little nicer to me for some reason. They're both based on the same software program. That I guess it's some competing developers that decided to make their own version, and Composer, I think, is the newer version of NView. So here's like a sample squeeze page that I made where I'm going to be promoting an affiliate offer, and I just took basically the headline for the affiliate offer and used that as the kind of the question, kind of the headline, if you will, for my squeeze page that I'm making here. And then where it says opt-in box here, I'm just going to take my opt-in form from GetResponse and pop that in there, and this whole squeeze page will take a few minutes to make total. So it's pretty cool that you can just make a nice, this will convert just off what it is right now. I know it will. I don't know the numbers because I haven't finished making the page, but I just wanted to show you that it doesn't take a whole lot to make a sample page that you can put online and get a squeeze page up and running and get leads. It doesn't have to be any more advanced than this. You will get people to sign up on a page that looks similar to this. Dreamweaver, this is really the professional standard for web page design. It's like a $400 program. Otherwise, I think you can pay a monthly fee of, I think it's $20 a month or $50 a month if you want like all the programs that Adobe makes. Adobe is the company that makes Photoshop and a bunch of other like industry standard applications for design, film and web design and all sorts of cool stuff. So they have some pretty sophisticated software they make. WordPress, a lot of websites are being made on WordPress nowadays. You get this from WordPress.org, or you can log into your web hosting account. And there's a thing called Fantastico Deluxe, which lets you install WordPress on most hosting accounts. So that's pretty handy. So how do you upload your website? Well, you're going to use that. You can use an HTML editor to do it. You can use an FTP client like FileZilla, or you can use WordPress. Those are kind of your main choices. With an HTML editor, so in Composer, you just tell them, okay, this is my, my website, and this is my username and password, and here's where I want the files to go to, and this is where I want the files stored to on my my hard drive on the computer. And then you can click a button, and it'll take all the files from that folder on your hard drive's computer and put those files on your website. And doesn't get much easier than that. It's pretty nice that you can just do that. FileZilla, pretty much same concept. You log in with the username, password, and domain name, and you just drag and drop whatever you want to do. Most of the time I use FileZilla because oftentimes I do stuff that isn't necessarily like a web page. Like I might want to put like a video or a picture or like a PDF document or something up on my website, and so I use FileZilla to do that. WordPress, similar concept. They basically have like an HTML editor here. That's kind of a what you see is what you get. It's a lot like just typing something into Word. I mean, you can bold, italicize, and all sorts of other formatting options. And then you click this Add Media thing, and you can, upload a PDF document or a picture or video or whatever you want, and it just puts that up on your website for you. So it's pretty nice what all WordPress can do. WordPress has some other wonderful features with the plugins and with the themes, so you can make a pretty nice looking web page without even knowing how to do any design stuff. So if I were to start over, WordPress is where I would really spend a lot of my time learning how to do. I'm just more comfortable myself doing it the old-fashioned way, so I like doing stuff with Composer and uploading stuff with FileZilla. So how do you set up your autoresponder? I use GetResponse for a lot of my list. Aweber is very similar. All the main autoresponders have in-depth tutorials that'll train you in more detail, but let's just get started. I'll do a quick walkthrough. So you log into GetResponse, and then there's a little drop down box, and you click create campaign, and that lets you create your new campaign in GetResponse. Then once you've done that, you type in the campaign name that you want to use. So I typed in test campaign 930, and I did create new campaign. Then it'll tell you that you successfully created the page. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click this button that says edit campaign settings. So you click that, and you're going to want to click this other link that says permission. And you're going to want to uncheck these confirmed opt-ins for email, web, and import, and just uncheck mark those. That's a useful thing, because there's no reason why you need to do the double opt-in right now. Single opt-in works just fine. Basically, when there's this confirmed opt-in thing, it's going to send them a message saying, hey, did you really want to sign up for Reed's list on whatever? And they're going to have to click a button. So you're going to have a lot more people on your list if they don't have that email, and they just get automatically added when they fill in their details. Then if you want to create your autoresponder message, so your first follow-up, you hover over message, and it's a drop-down box, and you click create autoresponder. So up here, messages, create autoresponder. Then you get a page like this. You scroll down, and it's like create new message, I think is the language they use. And you basically enter in your subject line. So on this example, I typed in thank you for joining, here's your free gift. And then there's like a button down here that says next. You click that. You select your template. I usually select plain text, although you could do one of these fancy HTML ones. I just like plain text to make it simple. And then the message body, I'll usually say, hey, thanks for signing up, here's your free gift, whatever it was called. The download link to it, enjoy, or thank you, or to your success, something like that. My name. Then PS, be on the lookout for more tips, tricks, techniques, whatever, on how to do XYZ. And you'll be getting messages from me every day or every other day or a couple times a day or whatever with the latest breakthroughs on internet marketing or whatever. And that's just to build a little bit of trust about what they're going to get from you. You also might want to include some other stuff in here talking about yourself, just to build a relationship. I've done ones where I've talked about being a parent and traveling the world and helping all sorts of other people out, and sharing other interests like that. And that's been nice to build a relationship, because oftentimes, not all the time, but sometimes you'll get people to send like a message right back once they get that email, and they're like, oh, I really like hearing about your story, and that resonates with me because I did something similar, or whatever, or I've always wanted to do that. And you can build a relationship with someone and respond to their messages that way. Then you just click save and publish, and your message will go out immediately once someone signs up to your list. If you want to do more follow-up messages, so let's say you have a squeeze page and you're promoting a product on the end, you might have some follow-ups to either build a relationship or to promote that product again and again, or other products. Basically, you just create another message and then say, oh, I want this to go out on day 2 or on day 5 or day 7 or whatever. And you select that, and you just go through the process again, put in the subject line, determine what template you want to use. I do plain text, and type in the body of the message and click save. And you just keep repeating that step until you're done creating all your follow-up messages. It's a very similar process if you're going to send a broadcast. Now, a follow-up message was like a sequential automated thing. Someone might sign up to your list on, say, Sunday night, and then you might have a message go out immediately then. You might have a message go out like the next day, which would be a Monday. So Monday evening, they might get another email from you. Then you might have another message that's set to go out maybe 2 days later, so they'll get a message on Wednesday evening about your product or service automatically. A broadcast is when you're like promoting something that like just came out, or you want to get out some breaking news to someone. You click the broadcast link, and it's the same way as sending out an autoresponder message. It's just a broadcast is basically like sending out an email right now to everybody on your list. The other thing about broadcasts is you can say, let's say you want to send like Merry Christmas type message. You can go, I could schedule up an email for Christmas this year if I wanted, or next year, or whatever, and have it say Merry Christmas, and I could schedule that right now, so you can set a time and a date when you want a message to go. This is a nice thing if you know, like let's say you're going to be on vacation, but you know there's some stuff that you want to get out to your list. You can send out some specific messages out to them and still be making sales while you're vacationing. Now, if you want to create a web form, this is the sign up box for people to sign up to your list. You need to follow these steps. So you hover over web forms, and then there's going to be a drop down box that says create new. You click that. Then you get all these options where you can select all these cool looking ones. I just do the real basic, nothing going on with the form, and then I remove all these other options because it gives you this header and footer and name and counter and privacy and powered by and all this other stuff. I just get rid of those, and I just go for email and a sign up button. That's what I want. Then you click next, as I think it's next step, and then you do you edit your thank you page. I do a custom thank you page almost all the time where I send them to my own website where it thanks them for signing up, and it might be a one-time offer there, or it might just tell them to check their email and get their download link, or it might redirect to an affiliate offer. It all depends on what I want to send to. And then I click next step. Then that lets you copy the code. You could use this JavaScript code or the HTML code. Either one will work just fine. You copy that, and then you put it on your squeeze page, or you have your web designer do that. It's very easy to do. You just copy and paste where you want it, and you're done. So how do you put a payment button up? Well, there you got three main options you can do. I mean, there's other things, like obviously if you have your own shopping cart software, you're going to maybe use that, but the three main ones that people use are going to be PayPal, Warrior Plus, or JVZoo. I would recommend doing Warrior Plus or JVZoo myself, even though they both process through PayPal. It's just the ability to have an affiliate program is a lot nicer than just having a standalone PayPal button. So in PayPal, you do merchant services, and you click that button. It's one of these top buttons up here, and then you're going to click this create payment buttons for your website. So when you do that, you click this create button link, and it makes it pretty easy. You just type in the product name, the price, an item ID, and you can scroll down, and a little bit later or a little bit further down the page it asks you if you want to redirect them to a specific thank you page. So this could be your one-time offer, your download area, or whatever else you want to put in there. Basically it's thanking them for their order, and we're going to send it out to you within 24 hours, or whatever. It all depends on what you're selling, and you put that in there, and so every time someone successfully pays you, they'll get taken to that web page. Warrior Plus, you log into your Warrior Plus account, you click this vendors link in the top, like in the top middle there. Then you click the create new. There's this create new button that's green, and it's either a product or offer. Now, product would be like just one product that you have for sale that you're willing to give affiliates commissions on. An offer is where you might have multiple products, so you're going to have like a product funnel. Excuse me. So a product funnel, you might have like a low-end product for, say, $27, or let's do something cheaper. Let's say a low-end product for like $7. Then you might have an upsell for $17, and then you might have another upsell for $27. For example, with the product funnel, your affiliates only have to request an affiliate link for one of those, and it will connect them all together. So it's pretty slick with what the product funnel can do. So you click that create new, gives you basically lets you lay out what you want. You just click the new link and get started. So you enter in your product details. You're going to do like your product name, where it should take them when they buy, your PayPal information, your support desk information, if you got a refund period, how many days, if you're going to do a limited quantity. I don't ever do that. Some keywords about your specific product, so I entered stuff related to niche marketing. And then if you're doing like a buy now button or a dime sale or subscribe or whatever, you select that. Then you put in your price. You talk about if you're doing a dime sale, if you're going to do any, increasing the sales when you're going to do that, how that works. You can do it where it like increases with every sale, or increases at a certain time, or increases after X number of sales. There's all sorts of cool stuff you can do. There's this IPN thing, which is like an integration thing to tie into, like, let's say you have a membership site and someone decides to buy, it can help create the membership account, or if someone cancels or unsubscribe or gets a refund, it can like get rid of that member and make it so they can't access their downloads. The autoresponder settings, this lets you automatically add anyone who bought your product to your email list, so you're going to want to enable that. Then your affiliate program, you set your default commissions and how that works, and maybe some notes for your affiliates. So let's say you're doing like a JV invite page, you can encourage them to sign up to your JV page and be eligible for your affiliate contest, and you're going to want to give them like a commission bump is what it's called. So let's say that you're doing a product where you're doing 75% commissions, you might do a commission bump to 100% commissions if they sign up for your JV invite group, your page, your list. Then you're going to want to make it WSO of the day eligible, how much commissions you're willing to give Warrior Plus. I do 100% for them because it's well worth it. And then you give them the access to the download page so they can check it out for themselves. JVZoo is a similar thing. You go to the main page, you hover over sellers, and it's seller dashboard that you select for that. Then you click this add a product button. It's this big orange thing right here. And it's very similar process. You do price, how much you're going to pay out, your email address, your support area, your landing page where they're going to be able to buy, the categories you want to put it in, the keywords, all those types of things. If you want to do like a second tier affiliate tracking, I don't do that on JVZoo products. I just find it a little worrisome. That's something that PayPal doesn't really like. They don't like second tier. Excuse me. A second tier, basically, let's say that I've got a product, and then you know a friend that could sell my product because they've got a big list. Well, on a second tier, you're going to get like 10% of all the commissions that your friend makes in sales. So let's say you know a friend named Bob who can make like 100 sales for me. Well, you tell Bob about my affiliate program with your JV invite link that you have, your JV recruiting link, affiliate program recruiting link, and if Bob makes any sales, you automatically get 10% of all the sales he makes. So if you're selling a $10 product, you're going to get $1. Or if I'm selling a $10 product and you got Bob to promote it, you're going to get $1 every time he makes a sale. And it can be a very lucrative business model, but PayPal just does not like multi-tier affiliate programs. So it's kind of surprises me that JVZoo encourages it. Maybe they've changed their terms, but I know years ago it was something that PayPal just did not like at all. So I don't dare do it myself. You got some other like you can connect up your autoresponder, and if you're doing a webinar, you can connect that, and the other program stuff. So same thing with Warrior Plus, where I mentioned that if someone bought your product, it can automatically set up a username and password for them, type of thing. So it's kind of cool. Then your download area, you can do a regular download area just like me. You can do password protected, or you could do a WordPress membership site. They're all very popular. Regular download is just like a page that you'd create in your HTML editor and put it up, and you're not too worried about someone stealing your content. I'm not personally that worried about it. I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, someone's gonna download my thing and share it, and oh no, the world's gonna end. And I don't know, I guess that doesn't really bother me that much. I've had people blatantly rip off my stuff and slap their name on it and sell it, and it's just kind of the name of the game. There's some shady people out there that have done some weird stuff. So, you take legal action on those types of things, but if someone finds my product and downloads it illegally, I don't spend all day like huffing and puffing and whining and crying over it. That person probably is not going to succeed just because they're not willing to spend money to learn the actual skills. They're looking for a cheap, easy fix, and they're going to jump around from thing to thing to thing instead of actually following through and following any of the advice I give them. So, I guess I don't worry about it. That's my personal take. There are things like htaccess, and this is like a page where it'll ask for your name and password in a little pop-up box. And if you want to know how to do one of these, just do a search for .htaccess password generator, and there's a whole bunch of ones online that'll automatically set up a password protected page for you. You just tell them where the folder is that your page is located on, or the actual file that your page is located on, and the username and password you want people to enter in order to log in and see it. And that's all it is. Some people could still share your page because people do share usernames and passwords. I've seen it happen before, but it does give a little bit extra security. And then WordPress, you've got Wishlist, which I think is a couple $100, and that can protect your stuff, and it basically makes a membership site. Or a member is another very professional service. And this is around $200 as well, I believe. And this lets you have a membership site where people have basically a username and password of their own to access the content they want. So what are we going to cover next week? Well, we're going to talk about traffic with solo ads. So where do you find solo ads, how to evaluate a solo ad seller, how to minimize your risks, how to track your advertising, how to ramp up your campaigns, and how to profit from solo ads, and a lot more. And your homework, you're going to want to catch up on any previous homework. You're going to want to upload your squeeze page to your website. You're going to upload your product and sales letter, and you're going to put your payment button up. Then you're going to want to set up your download area and test it out on your computer. Actually go to your website, sign up to your list, check out the payment button, make sure it's up, check out your download area, make sure it's up, and then email me the information by Monday, March 3rd. You get that to me, you send it via my support desk, and that makes it so it's easy for me to see. And I guess that being said, that's really what there is for tonight's call. And I have some companion videos that show a little bit more hands-on how I set up, like a domain name and hosting. So I'll send those over to you. I could shoot a quick video, I guess, on GetResponse as well, and send that over as well. And that'll help you know a little bit more how to do some of these things. But really, the purpose of tonight's call was just kind of give you a basic technical overview. All this kind of stuff you can find like on YouTube just by quickly searching for it, or actually going to your web host or your autoresponder company and just asking them. This is nothing that's that challenging. A lot of people get hung up on the technical stuff, but it's really some of the easiest stuff out there. The marketing stuff is actually the hard part. Learning how to market and learning how to sell online is challenging. The technical stuff, it's really a lot easier than you think. A lot of this stuff you could outsource and delegate to someone in the Philippines, and they can do a lot of this technical stuff for you. It's the creative selling and things like that you really need to learn, and that's what the rest of this course is about. Tonight was just mainly about all this technical stuff, because I feel you need to know some of this in order to communicate effectively with someone you're outsourcing to, and you should learn how to do some of this stuff yourself, because oftentimes it's a lot easier to be like, hey, I noticed a typo on my page. It'd be really nice to just be able to edit my page quick and save it instead of having to delegate to someone else who lives in another part of the world to do it for me. So, that being said, I hope it was useful, and I look forward to seeing your homework, and I'll speak to you next week.